The Mount Moon Review podcast, while a podcast about Pokemon, is not intended for children. You can expect some instances of adult humor, coarse language, and adult situations. Parental discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mount Moon Review Podcast, your source for all things Pokemon. I am your host, the Raspberries, with my co-host, the Blue Duck Gold Duck, bringing you everything you need to know from the world of Pokemon that's happened in the last, I don't know, Duck, 6 months. Usually
We're
it's
just
like,
covering. We're covering January in this episode.
well, typically I'd always answer this. I'd always start this podcast by saying everything that happened in the last week, but that just hasn't been the case, Duck. I mean, do you care to explain to the listening audience why we haven't had an episode in, God knows how long?
Look, we took a little break. I thought I was ready to come back, and I wasn't.
Well, here you are. Now,
I worked almost every single day in November, 12-hour shifts. It sucked, and the days I was off, I was dead.
Yeah. So yeah, we did warn everybody. Duck got a new job. Things kind of got a little fuzzy there. Holidays happened, COVID happened, everything happened. But Duck is back. We don't know exactly what our schedule is going to be just yet, but we're both free tonight. So we wanted to come back, show you that we're still alive. We didn't actually bury Duck in the backyard, and bring you back with episode 58. Because, a lot of you don't know because it's wildly different, but I have a different podcast that is up to, I think, episode 36 or something like that. So I'm catching up. I'm catching up, Duck. I'm catching up. So we got to try to keep the Mount Moon Review going because in the very last episode, I actually had to edit out the very ending, not of the Mount Moon Review, but of the other podcast, because at the end I thank everybody for listening, and I said thank you for listening to the Mount Moon Review podcast. I actually had to go through and cut it out. So here we are. We're back. We're back. And you got like a huge quick ball behind you. Or not quick ball, I'm sorry, net ball.
Fall.
Net
Yeah, that was a little project I had. I got all the days off that I worked extra in November. I got them all off at once last week, and so I was like, I'm gonna redo the office. I'm gonna take that stupid hardwood floor down and make a netball like I've always wanted to, because now I can afford
Well,
to do that kind
I
of thing.
remember that when we first started the podcast, people were commenting, "Why is he laying on the floor?"
That drove me so crazy.
Like one person
don't
said
think
it,
you
and it drove you nuts. That was the best part.
It drove me nuts. So I put a stupid crooked wire shelf up to put plushies on. It just said, "Let's go." That for a while. I switched to the green screen so I could, yeah. But then I had to move my desk. So now my desk is back where it was when we recorded episode 1. New desk, by the way.
Woo.
And
because your green screen was the drizzling crap, dude. I'm sorry, it was.
Oh, I know, it was screwed to the ceiling and screwed to the floor,
and it was still waving in the breeze.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully it's a little bit better now.
So I got your format. I haven't had time to read it entirely yet. So you're gonna have to run things here, Ducky. We're gonna start out January 2021 in review. Essentially, I think we're going for with this. There's gonna be some things that they're probably gonna leak in from 2020, but let's just do what we got. So where do you want to start with, Duck?
Let's just start with all the announcements they've started to make for the year so far.
You got the floor.
All right, so Pokemon's made a new subdomain for their website. It's the 25.pokemon.com, and they've been announcing all the new things they're going to do. Sorry,
That's fine, but what people need to realize is in Japanese culture, anniversaries are big. Not every year, but numbers that have significance, like 25. 25 is a big number, so that anniversary is going to be something that the Pokemon Company celebrates tremendously. So we can see a lot of things coming out there. And what kind of things that we've already learned so far, Ducky?
So far, Katy Perry is has been announced to be doing some kind of collaboration with Pokemon. It's probably going to be music. I thought that was a weird one uh, to bring out, and there's going to be other celebrities too, but Katy Perry is the one named.
I mean, any kind of like crossover is a good thing. I mean, any kind of anything that's going to boost viewership's a good thing. So I can't knock it.
Yeah, other companies are Build-A-Bear, McDonald's, Levi's, weird one,
Yep.
and Funko.
You know, I actually saw that there was people pre-ordering Happy Meals. I believe the date for the Happy Meals is February 19th. If you're interested in going to McDonald's,
They're pre-ordering the Happy Meals.
yeah, I saw people were actually pre-ordering, calling McDonald's and trying to pre-order Happy Meals, and some McDonald's are doing it.
Huh.
Not saying
For the Pokemon
I'm not
cards.
saying I encourage that type of behavior, but
That that in the I don't those cards don't they
they
don't
don't have
sell.
any value. I mean,
So
they're
I'm a little confused at why, unless you're like hardcore and want to collect the promos, but
some people do. I collect league promos. I love league promos, but I mean, they have cards. They're usually just reprints with alternate arts, and sometimes not even alternate arts. There's reprints. They did have
some
the Eevee with Energy Evolution was in there one time, and I actually went and got a Happy Meal just so I get that card.
it had a special hollow on it too, I think. If it's playable and there's a stamp on it, oh yeah, 100%. I'll eat those up. The Toys R Us Charmanders, the Toys R Us Alolan Vulpix. Remember those days?
Actually, you know what? I don't think I ever got any Toys R Us cards because I was never around a Toys R Us.
Uh, I went to Toys R Us with a pack of kids and told them I'd give them all a bunch of cards if they gave me their Toys R Us Charmanders.
And then entered the Charizard collection that we were all very very familiar with. Your Charizard collection.
Oh yeah.
What else you got?
Um, they're also going to be doing a thing where they release jumbo packs of cards that depict the starter Pokemon, and each month is going to be a new generation of starters. In March, they're going to start with Gen 8 and then go count backwards until they hit Gen 1,
So
probably in like December.
so we're talking cards that we can't use anything for other than just putting them on our shelf and making them all dusty.
No, but they are releasing a jumbo binder to keep them in. It's called the
Ooh.
first. It's called the First Partners binder or something like that.
Next.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not interested.
I the only thing I want is the Charmander with the 25th anniversary logo on it, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. And those jumbo cards are so hard to keep.
Yeah, they get screwed up so fast, so easily.
Yeah.
It's always funny too because kids always try to put them in the sleeve on the binders, and then
Hmm.
they'll carry their binder through the store, and that card goes whipping out at some point or another.
Yeah.
There was somebody like on Etsy or something there for a while that was taking. You'd send them those cards, and they'd make like notebooks out of them, and they make those the covers. Nah,
Oh, that's pretty
that's
neat.
about the only thing you could do with them.
Yeah. Or what a lot of people do is they sell them on eBay and then in really, really
Yeah,
fine
drawn
print say
back.
that it's yep.
Yeah,
They say that it's the
I think there was a Zorora that was like no a not a Zorora, Zorark that was like that. People were selling the big Zorarks cards.
yeah. Zoroark was in high demand. They did not. It was the best card they ever printed, and they didn't print enough. So then people on eBay were trying to sell them for. Be like, hey, I got this $20 card for $7.
Why is the envelope that came in the mail so big?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Next is a new Pokemon Snap. We got a trailer for this at Nintendo Direct not too long ago, and now the release date is confirmed April 30th.
were you into Pokemon Snap?
I love Pokemon Snap. I play through Pokemon Snap at least once a year.
I mean, the game's pretty much just on rails, right?
That the old one is. You're on the rails and you can do different things as you take more pictures of Pokemon. Professor Oak gives you more tools you can use to interact with the Pokemon in their environment. So like you get an apple, and then you can watch the Pokemon eat an apple, and then you get this like smoke ball that'll make them angry. So you can take pictures of them all while they're angry. It's,
I wasn't into the original one.
yeah, it's a cool concept.
It was a different concept. My brother had it. I played it, and I just wasn't getting into it. I went right back to playing Pokemon Stadium.
Pokemon Stadium was really good too.
Especially if you had the packs that jumped into, that popped on the back of the N64 controller.
Yeah,
and let you put your cartridge in.
Play your cartridge on the big screen.
Yeah, well, that you just import your Pokemon, which was just was the shiznit. What else we got? Oh, yeah, Pokemon Snap. So you're gonna get it essentially, right? You're gonna.
Oh yeah, I already bought it. I already pre-ordered it.
Did you? Now, is there any peripherals with it, or is it just the game?
What do you mean?
I didn't know if there's gonna be like a some kind of.
Oh, I pre-ordered on the eShop.
Well, no. What I mean is, it's not like a special controller or anything. It's just the game itself.
No, I don't. Yeah, and I'm not sure how it's gonna control. The character looked like his camera was kind of like a Switch.
Well, the Switch has the.
I hope I'm not like.
Oh, you're going to be. I guarantee you're going to be. I put money on it. I'm going to put money on it. It's going to be a gyroscope game, and you're going to have to hold it. You're going to look like a freaking lunatic swinging that Switch around your room.
Well, that's fine. I'll do it. I just I hope not.
It's going to be. I put money on it, dude. I'm going to put money on it. You're going to be swinging that thing going, oh, look at me.
Wait, I think I heard a mew.
You whip around, smack somebody in the head with your Switch. I'll laugh.
As far as the trailer for Pokemon Snap, the one where they released the release date in it, I don't know if it's going to be on rails or not. He was still in a little cart, but it looked like there might have been some like free movement going on. They didn't show a lot of like gameplay. It was mostly cutscene.
I mean, the old game was kind of like, welcome to Pokemon Park. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was like.
But I have a feeling it'll probably be a little bit reminiscent of that, but you probably have a little bit more movement just because. But
yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot more going on. It looked like so many different scenarios just in one thing. Like it was very, very limited before back in the day.
Right on. So the next one that we have to talk about is one we heard about, over a year ago or more at this point? When did they make the announcement? It was quite a while ago.
It was a while ago. I don't think it was quite a year.
Because it was like back in the infancy of the podcast. It was way back there. Pokemon Unite. And essentially, it's a MOBA.
Yep. It's a Pokemon MOBA.
If you've played League of Legends, you know how to play Pokemon Unite, probably.
Yeah, that's or what are the other ones like that? Dota.
Yeah, Dota 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pokemon Unite. What do we know about that?
They released. Well, we first saw like some gameplay with Ishihara was, playing his little staged game there for a little bit.
Your close personal friend Ishihara.
Yeah. I should hang his autograph up back there.
Yeah, well, picture with you with him.
So we got a little bit more information. They originally, when they first revealed it, everybody was pissed. So I don't know how much people are liking it or excited for it because they thought we were going to get announcement of a new game, and it was this like MOBA, mobile version. Not what anybody wanted. So everybody's upset. And I'm curious to see if the community is still against it. I was kind of for it from the start. I'm definitely going to download it since it's free. I'll try a couple games and see if I can get into it.
Yeah. But, I mean, there's no reason not to, especially on a free-to-play game. I know some people are just against free-to-play games to begin with, but I personally don't have an issue with them. I don't mind throwing a couple of shekels down on a game if it's a quality game and didn't cost me anything to download.
A lot, and I think Pokemon does the microtransaction thing, like usually right, like in their mobile games. It usually doesn't feel like I have to pay any money to get things.
I don't know. I'm gonna contradict that a little bit. I'm gonna contradict that a little bit. It seemed like with Pokemon Masters and especially, what was the one? What was the cafe one? What was that called?
Cafe Mix.
Yeah, Cafe Mix. That just seemed like they were just every 5 seconds they were shoving down a purchase. Like, hey, you want to do this? Huh? Yeah, come on, you want to buy this? Yeah, it's a great thing to buy.
Showing you. I meant like to progress. I've never felt like I played games before where like progression just stops. Like 5 hours in, you're like, well, I
But
can't.
those are games that they're so inundated with ads for microtransactions. I actually don't let my kids play those ones. Just
Okay, I
because,
wasn't thinking about the ads.
yeah,
So yeah, maybe they do shove ads
they
down your
it is
throat.
such a buy this. I mean, the only thing worse is Fortnite. But
Um,
I mean, if for an adult that understands everything, sure. If they run it along the same lines as Dota, I kind of in League of Legends, I'm kind of worried that it's going to be pay to win.
well, that's the problem. I'm pretty sure with League of Legends, you buy each character you have, right?
I think you get like a
You know how
couple
that works?
basic ones out the gate, but then you have to buy the ones that are actually going to allow you to maybe be able to win. And the
So
other thing,
that's
a lot of thing
collecting
with
it.
those games too is even if you buy the top tier characters, well, if you're buying them now when the game's been out for a while, you're still going to get hosed.
Right,
So you
because they're not probably not good anymore.
so you kind of have to make sure that you're in on the ground floor for those types of games. I think.
Yeah, that's the big question here. Is every Pokemon available to every player, and then they're gonna sell like the skins, or is it you get these Pokemon to start, and you can buy the other Pokemon if you want?
I'm
That's what remains to be seen.
if
We did see skins.
I hope it's skins.
Go ahead.
I hope it's cosmetics. Cosmetics I have no problem with, as long as the core gameplay is still intact.
Right. Yeah, we saw skins in this trailer, and also before we only saw like 10 Pokemon in the reveal. There was only like 10 Pokemon available. There's probably like 40 or 50 different Pokemon. Like, and that's just what we saw in the little snapshot when the guy was selecting his character. And they're not just like the top Pokemon. Like you're gonna have your starters, your Pikachu's, your Lucarios, but then Cramorant is a character you can play as, and Crustle, the hermit crab. So,
It's probably a defensive character. I mean,
oh, I can only imagine it's probably some kind of tank or something. But just the fact that Crustle is a playable character like really sticks out. Like, oh, they're coming in with some of the unorthodox ones.
I like it when they do that as opposed to just doing the uh, here's Charizard.
Right. Everybody has Charizard. You're Charizard. You're Charizard.
You get a Charizard. You get a Charizard.
Pretty much. Um, and then so I've been thinking about this. A lot of people are saying the game's probably going to drop on February 27th during their big Pokemon Day reveal. But I'm kind of starting to doubt that because if you look at the skins, they're all like they're in it's like Pokemon in like swim gear. Like Garchomp has like a snorkel and Cinderace is like a pirate. Everybody has like leis like Hawaiian style.
So you're thinking like a
It kind
summertime release.
it seems like the skins at least seem summer themed, and it wouldn't make a lot of sense to release those skins if it's coming out in February.
Well, if you get the game out and get a good player base, and then during the big celebration, you start dropping out expansions on there and downloadable content and stuff like that. That's probably a good way to go. So it sounds like it's a probable that you might be right.
We'll see. It could be that these skins that we saw in this like gameplay aren't going to be the ones available when it drops. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows
they
what they're
could
going to
just
do?
be placeholders. We don't know.
Right, right.
Now, and
They could have just
Pokemon has
been
done
real
that in the
work on
past,
the
where
summer stuff.
typically they like to make sure that everything you see is polished. But there have been times where they have shown stuff that just never materialized. So, just something to keep in mind. We try to read into it the best we can. We make our own interpretations, and sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong.
If they're really smart about it, they're gonna do shiny Pokemon. Everybody gets the normal colors, but if you want black Charizard or black Greninja, you gotta pay us. You gotta pay for that
Those
premium
cost
currency.
99 cents.
Stonks.
Oh, geez. So we go from MOBAs to blah 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 blah. I mean, I'm gonna play it. I'll try it. I'll give it a
I'm
shot.
gonna play it. I mean, Crew's definitely gonna. We're gonna have our own team or something on there.
We might, but and anything to get people the heck off of PTCGO on Twitch and leave me alone because I am back to streaming PTCGO on Twitch. Um, so I'm trying to get that viewer base back up. So get those guys. They'll go play that for a few weeks, and I can have all of PTCGO to myself. What you got next, there, Ducky?
Let's jump into video game news.
Woohoo!
All right. So over the course of the last 2 months, there's been a lot of trademarks filed from the Pokemon Company. Oh my god, I skipped all of the video game news and went right to TCG. We're doing TCG first.
Okay, we're doing TCG. Go ahead.
All right, so the Pokemon Company's been filing a lot of trademarks. We're pretty sure most of these trademarks are going to partake to TCG stuff. Maybe not, but as far as most of them go. And as far as I can tell, they've never done like a huge wave of trademarks like this, or at least it's never been in the forefront of the news that I follow like it is right now. So I don't know if they do like copyright every single set name they make before it comes out, or how all that works. But this time, like
I'll tell you, and
it's
from a creator standpoint, anytime that you're going to mention something that could get people looking, you copyright and get domains and everything before you even mention it. Um, you just have to from a marketing standpoint. So if they got a whole lot of new names coming out, they're going to try to make sure they copyright all that stuff beforehand. That way, they own it and nobody can create knockoffs and stuff like that.
well, the first thing they copyright or they sent to their the first like trademark they sent in was high class pack and high class deck. The wording for high class pack kind of seemed like they were talking about sets like Generations and Dragon Majesty, those like in between sets they do for
Yeah,
like
the weird ones that don't
holiday
really
season.
fit, but you always have that one card that everybody needs.
Exactly. The chase sets are as I think they should be referred to now because every single one of them seems to have a shiny Charizard in it.
Yeah. Well, then you can't. You know what? I'm going to try not to do it. I'm going to try not to rant about the scalpers. So continue.
Well, I mean, we can talk about that later if you want,
Not really.
because I didn't put in the
I don't want to get on my.
I didn't put it in the
We're
document.
coming back off the hiatus. I don't want to get on my soapbox just yet.
Okay.
I
So
will.
high class pack, you will what?
I will get on my soapbox. Don't worry.
Next episode.
Next episode.
So high class pack, that pertains to those sets. But what does high class deck? That's something we've never heard about before. So it's probably going to be some kind of structure deck or starter deck, or maybe it's the versus decks that always have the money cards in them and
Yeah.
also get scalped.
I've said it before and I've said it again. I wish they would come out with starter decks for the leagues to give out like they do with Magic the Gathering. Where you have these open houses that you go in there and they say, okay, well, pick a color, and then you say, oh, green. Okay, well, here's the green deck. You're going to have the big monsters, and we're going to teach you how to play Magic, and this is yours to keep. And it's got some, it's like a theme deck essentially, but that it really entices people to come in and play, and you're giving them something for free, and you're teaching them how to play, and now you're encouraging them to get products. So I just really wish Pokemon would do something like that, because a lot of times when people first get into the game, they show up with the Ziploc bag of cards. None of them are in rotation, so you're trying to piece stuff together, and in a way it's kind of cool, because then you'll see everyone, like, typically in our leagues anyway, everyone will start chipping in, like, here, I got a couple extra of these, whatever, and we'll build the kid a deck or what have you. But I just wish they would come up with a more way to make it easier for new players to get into the game.
Yeah, I'd usually have a couple starter decks on me when I was professoring, but
Is that a
and
word?
then every time like no,
I always
made
kept
it up on.
I always kept about 4 theme decks in my backpack. I just did. I mean, because that way when they came in, well, okay, yeah, you have these cards. I know you like them, but I'm gonna give you this deck to teach you how to play with. You know.
And then if I would like rotate the decks. So like whenever like a new interesting one came out, like I try to get the ones that had cool mechanics in them.
hmm
And then whenever like I had a couple of them on deck, and then pun not intended. And then whenever my box was getting full, I had a player with that showed a little bit more potential than the average one, like somebody that was actually interested in learning, I'd send them home with the deck
The
I
one that
used.
comes back the second day.
Yeah. I mean, I gave away plenty of decks to kids that never came back, but
It is what it is. I mean, you
it is.
can't you have to hope, and a lot of times you got to remember it's not the kid, it's the parent.
That's another thing too.
But
Next thing they
go ahead.
trademarked is V Union and V Star.
Can we stop with
Those sound
this?
like
This is getting kind of
those sound
ridiculous.
like gameplay mechanics to me, and probably a card type. Like V
Yeah,
Union would
I'm,
probably be some kind of fusion between
yeah,
uh, two
or
Pokemon, which
or
is probably going to be.
what were the cards that were after they went to the Shadow Realm after they got killed? Uh, they had a diamond on them, usually black diamond looking thing. Shit,
Oh,
what were those
the
things?
Prism
Yeah,
Stars,
Prism Stars. Kind of sounds like something like a Prism Star.
like a V Star,
Yeah,
Prism Star. There's probably going to be a new card type like that, and
yeah.
then the V Union, I think, is probably going to refer to whatever happens when Calyrex, the Calyrex card fuses with the horse card.
That's a possibility. As long as it's not some stupid
I
thing like the breaks where you got to turn the cards sideways and make a transformer out of it.
Yeah, I don't like that. I didn't like the cards where you had to put them together, the Legends cards or
No,
the breaks.
no.
There's a reason everybody only played one of the breaks.
Greninja.
Yeah. I guess Trevenant deserves some recognition as well.
Nah, just Greninja. Keep going. Keep going. You can't read. You can't
So
read. You gotta talk.
next thing they trademarked was Fusion Arts, which goes along with the V Union. Um, I think that maybe there's a new they can do a whole mechanic between like Calyrex style and like you have the Kyurem and the Reshiram and Zekrom. You have the Necrozma. There's a bunch of Pokemon that have fused with each other in the past, so it could be a whole gameplay mechanic around fusion.
I mean, it's a possibility. I kind of hope not, because I don't like that mechanic. I just
Yeah,
don't.
I know.
But it's they it's almost like Pokemon's trying to do everything every time. Like every time there's a new set comes out, well, here's a new gameplay mechanic. How about just leave the damn gameplay alone and give me some new cards that look cool, and maybe some cards that have the abilities that I'm actually looking for. Yeah, maybe some new
Speaking
stuff.
of cards that look cool, we don't have a picture for it, but did you see the Urshifu card?
I have not.
The Urshifu VMAX? There's so much detail packed into that one little card. It's one of the coolest looking cards I ever made.
You have to send it to me later. I'd like to take a look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send it to you. And then finally VMAX Climax.
Well,
Not a joke.
we can make okay. Yeah. Pikachu.
Keep in mind, even this is probably gonna be a mechanic, or it might be the last set. Like, sounds like an American name for their last set for with the VMAX mechanic.
Yeah, and sometimes those change because they find out that we start making jokes about them before they even come out.
That's a possibility too. Or some of these could just be code names for what actually comes out. I know they've done that before too.
They have, and they do like doing the code names too, so that it's a surprise. Because Pokemon Company alone, but Nintendo as a whole and Game Freak, and they all love surprises. They love surprises.
Yeah, well, they're not good at it.
Hmm?
They're not good at it because people within their company like to leak all their stuff.
Yeah, they I didn't say they're good at it. I said they like to do it. Let's see, Japan.
So that's it. That's it for those. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
What you got? Japan's next set will be featured on Calyrex. What?
Yep. So there's all the fusion stuff coming into play there, right there.
Dude, I hated Calyrex. I thought he was goofy looking.
He's got a big old noggin though.
He got a big old noggin. I know, but still, he's goofy looking.
Oh man, I really wish he would have changed what he looked like.
And the fact that he is the legendary, but his whole appearance is just comedy. I don't know. I didn't particularly care for him. I didn't care for the story. I didn't. Meh at best.
Yeah, totally underwhelmed. The set's going to be called, the two sets in tandem for Calyrex are going to be called Silver Lance and Jet Black Spirit. Probably each one featuring around, one of the horses.
Yeah, the different horses and whatnot. So yeah, I can see that. So Top Deck Academy starts this week, huh?
Yeah, so that's a program the Pokemon Company is putting together where they take the commentators, that we know. Most of them are past players, retired players that are good, but they're not like the greats.
They're not Wolfie Glick.
They're not Wolf Glick.
They're not Wolf Glick, and they're not Tord Red. They're not Tord.
No, but I mean, they're better than me.
This is true. So,
but yeah, they're going to be putting together a program that teaches people how to build decks, like on the next level. They said for intermediate players.
Yeah, I can see that being pretty helpful because that's what you do with your leagues is you play and then you start teaching people how to build their decks. Because I like the fact that when you go to leagues, like real, like honest to God, brick and mortar leagues, people come in with stuff that's not just what they copied off a TCG player, like you do when you're online. So I really like this Pokemon, so I'm going to build a deck around this Pokemon. Okay, I mean the deck's going to get obliterated in real competitive play, but that is how you start. That is how you start to learn how to build your own decks.
And then sometimes you make poor meta choices just to play with your favorite Pokemon and still do okay anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've been playing this mill deck on PTCGO right now, and I've been doing.
Oh no!
Yeah, yeah, mill is back, baby.
I thought they were banning mill.
No. If I can find a way to play Sylveon again, I'd be all over that.
Sylveon was a good card used for bad things.
That was a bad.
I like Sylveon too because it helped me get my Gardevoirs out, but I didn't like that it also helped players keep cards out of my hands.
I was a bad man. You and I might have had one of the longest games of Pokemon in history with God.
The day we met.
Was it the day we met, or was it? No, it was like the second time.
Oh, I mean, it was one of the first times we met. It was at my league.
Yeah, and I had the Sylveon Mill, and you had Gardevoir or something. Or was it straight up Gardevoir?
Might have been straight up Gardevoir. Sylveon might have been in there at that point, but I don't
think so.
If Vulpix was out, it was probably just straight up Gardevoir.
And we just... I think we had the one game that lasted the whole league. It was just ridiculous. And
it lasted till after the league.
Yeah. I think eventually we just said, you know what, dude? I got to go home.
Yeah, the wife was making you leave.
Aye.
And she never came back to league again.
Goddamn nerds. Look at these two grown-ass men over here.
Nerds. I was seeing screenshots, like right as I was waiting for you to call me. I was seeing screenshots of a Jeopardy question where the answer was Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I did. I heard that sometime recently. I saw the
And
video
I'm
of
pretty
it.
sure they couldn't figure it out. And it was like Sword and Shield was literally in the question.
Eh. So that's
I
all.
just thought it was interesting that.
So do you want to go back into your format here and go back to VGC now?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got some subdomains going in, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this is along the lines of the 25th year anniversary subdomain they made, but this one was a secret.
Secret.
So
It's a
on
secret.
January 12th, the subdomain for Diamond and Pearl dot Pokemon was created, and people found it on the 14th. I don't know, the internet sleuths, people that scrub data and stuff. They found it and they started posting it. And they also found legends.pokemon.com. Both of them were taken down once it started making rounds on social media.
Hmm.
So they were posts probably put up on accident, or they didn't think people would find them and they put them up and then they had to take them down. But that pretty much confirms that subdomain wasn't made for the original Diamond and Pearl games. This
No.
was something created on the 12th for something. Obviously, it's most likely going to be for Diamond and Pearl remakes this year, right?
That would be my guess because you do want to get them out early because as soon as the information of the game's going to come out, you want to make sure you have all that stuff. So you're probably you're looking at something around the end of the year. But is it going to be like an actual remake or are we talking a Let's Go?
Well, that's another thing that needs to be addressed. Um, Legends, we don't know what that partakes. We don't know what that is applied to. Nobody has any good guesses, so that's on the back burner for now. Um, but let's talk about Diamond and Pearl being Let's Go games. There was a leaker who posted something recently, like in the last week, saying that, and this is somebody that was considered a credible source. They said Diamond and Pearl remakes are going to have Let's Go mechanics, and they're going to be on the Let's Go engine. And then that they said this was going to come out in 2020, and then to protect their rumor, they said it got delayed. Okay, so that's all this information that's been circulating.
Huh.
Well, then my guy
Your guy.
was like, right, like I saw that like somebody brought that rumor to my attention earlier in the week, and I was like, oh, that's news to me. I didn't know any of this
And
stuff.
you're like, let me
And
get
then I
let me
saw
get let
that,
me get with my guy.
yeah, my guy, my guy is like, hey, Pokemon is using the same engine for the Switch games that they used on the DS. There's no difference in the engine between Let's Go and Sword and Shield. Uh, they were never going to release Diamond and Pearl remakes in 2020. The DLC was always the plan. Like starts debunking this everything this guy said. But then I started looking into history, like why do they think this guy is credible? And the guy did have a post that said how the fossil mechanics were going to work, and there was another thing that was correct. I think it was he said about the Mr. Mime evolution, and that was before that stuff was revealed. So I think it was a leaker who had a credible source and then started making stuff up.
It's a possibility.
Is my best guess,
But
or Pokemon is starting to tell people stuff. They're telling different people different things to try to find out who's leaking.
that's possible too. But let me go back a second.
That's,
You said that they're using the same engine on the DS as they on the Switch as they used on the DS.
yeah, they did not, according to the guy I follow, they did not upgrade engines between the two systems.
Bullshit.
Why?
Uh, for what games?
Like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield, same engine, he said.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it for an instant.
Why not?
It just I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and go through them again and look, but it just seems like the systems would be incompatible because right now anything that was on the DS has to be run on emulation because well, okay, never mind. I'll just accept it for what it is until I can prove it otherwise. But move on.
The engine that they use for these games, so I couldn't even give an educated guess. I know that like Unreal Engine that lasted through generations of consoles. So
Yeah, Nintendo's a little bit different though. I mean, you can run Unreal Engine, but it's just Nintendo's a little different. Uh, it, programming for the Switch is not as easy as programming uh,
oh yeah, I can only
for the Xbox or the PlayStation, and I don't. It just doesn't sound right. But then again, they are coming from the same ecosystem, so it's possible. But anyway, move on.
that's something I'm not educated enough to
I was involved in
talk
one
about.
game development and it didn't go well. What we got next up?
The next is the Battle of Legends is returning for Series 8 of Sword and Shield. So they just opened up the decks with all the DLC Pokemon, and they had this huge thing where everybody's allowed, except for the Pokemon on the restricted list. And now in Series 8, it's going to be basically a free for all. Everybody that's not a mythical Pokemon is allowed to be played with.
Nice.
And then the way this always works is they have their list of restricted Pokemon, which is your cover legendaries, your Rayquaza, your Mewtwo, your Ho-Oh, all those, and you can pick two out of the list to put on your team.
So they're restricted in that you can't have them all, but you can have a couple.
Right,
Okay,
right.
I get it.
That's why they're called the restricted. And these formats, usually there's like a couple that are pretty overbearing. I think these formats are usually pretty boring.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
in the past, it was Xerneas, and then it was uh,
Rayquaza.
oh, Mega Rayquaza. Mega Rayquaza didn't see as much play as Groudon and Kyogre, but yeah, Rayquaza. After somebody won Pokemon Worlds with Rayquaza, then
Yeah, everybody got to play a little. Got to get them a big old green dragon.
right. And then in Gen 7 though, when they did it did have a little bit more variety. And then they were starting to use the legends as like in different ways. Like Lunala got a lot of play. And it was mostly like support. So
Well, I mean, I'm not going to play in it myself. I haven't really dabbled with VGC in a few months. I'm probably not going to play in it. Uh, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll get some rental teams and play around, but I don't see it because I'm kind of focusing on PTCGO right now. I want to get into the next Players Cup, so that's probably what I'm focusing on. But let's put that aside. Um, Pokemon Company cracking the whip on hackers and purging the system of non-obtainable Pokemon. I saw this. I think I actually sent this to you when in regards to Pokemon Home.
you were my source for this one.
Yeah, see, I'm a source. Woo! Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So they're banning people or Pokemon from
Well,
online
people too,
play.
people
Well,
too.
people, yeah. If you have a Pokemon whose original trainer or the name of the Pokemon is a website, anything with like .com in the name,
It's gone.
instantly banned from playing online or trading or anything.
Yeah, because
Um,
that's what a lot of the web. You'll see them on Facebook. They'll put on there like, for $10, we'll send you all the Pokemon in shiny forms or something. And a lot of times when you get those things, they'll then be, it'll say that they're from buypokemoncheap.com is the original trainer's
or
name.
ProfessorOak.com is a big one.
Yeah.
That's like an automated system. You can go on and click all the things you want on the Pokemon, and once you pay it, they send it to you with a custom uh, trade code. So you just put it in. I don't think anybody has to do it. Like it's like a completely automated system for
Which
people ordering their Pokemon.
you kind of had to give people props on that one, but obviously these are
Oh
all
yeah, it's
hacked.
nuts.
Obviously they're all hacked. So
Yeah.
it's a good move on their part to get rid of those ones. I agree. Now they're just gonna pick it's just gonna be on a random name generator though when you get them though probably.
Probably. there'll always be a way around it, but I'm glad they're making steps towards
Yeah,
stopping
because
people
that was the
from.
big thing with VGC. Why I never got involved in like really competitive VGC, because you've seen it. You've been at regionals where somebody whips out a laptop and just makes a Pokemon. So it's just not right. And Pokemon always turned. They knew it was happening, and they just turned a blind eye to it.
Yeah, that was why I never felt comfortable being a judge for VGC, because like don't tell me I have to have integrity and enforce a rule that you don't let people enforce,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
that you guys don't enforce yourself.
I never actually took the VGC test. I did the uh, what was there's the TCG one, and then there's also the what's the other one?
Organizer.
Organizer, yeah. So I did organizer first, then I did then I did TCG judge and all that. But I never bothered with the VGC. I never
I
wanted
think
to get.
I took the test, and it was just for like, oh, I need to be a judge. I need to be a VGC judge for that. Okay, I'll do the test real quick. I can't remember what it was though.
I'm not sure. Were you trying to put in for a regionals or something?
I don't. Maybe.
Hmm. But yeah, so we're definitely cracking down on there. You could get yourself banned. If you got those, I suggest you release them into the wild.
That would be a good idea. You can delete 100 of them at a time on Pokemon Home.
Which, might I add, is one of the greatest things ever created.
That's really good. Yeah.
The one,
And as far as banning, go ahead.
say the one drawback being with home is you can only have it on one device. So I eventually had to put it back on my phone and get it off my iPad. But it's still such a great service. So,
Oh yeah, I completely agree. So as far as banning actual people, they're going to try to find the content creators, the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers that are giving people hacked Pokemon, and banning them. And that might shake things up, because there's some pretty big people that do like giveaways, like, of shiny non-obtainable Pokemon.
yeah, what you end up seeing it too on Twitch, and it sucks because if you're actually a legit Twitch streamer and you're doing everything, you're having that audience participation, you're putting a lot into your stream, making sure it just doesn't look like someone threw it together in paint, and you put a lot of work in there, and you're having that interaction, you're trying to build the community, and you're like, why are my views so low today? And then maybe while a screen's loading up, you pull up Twitch real quick and check the channel, and you realize that some douche canoe has like 7,000 viewers because they're giving away a shiny Mew. It's like, okay,
100 shiny.
yeah, perfect shiny Mew. But yeah, so Pokemon is actually now kind of, and I've seen this too. I've seen names pop up in mine that I've never seen before. That are obviously Pokemon related names. And I've actually thought to myself, I wonder if that's them just checking to see if we're doing anything shady. Just a thought. Probably not, but I've also found out that some very high-profile, influential people have stolen some stuff from one of my previous YouTube channels recently, which I'll tell you about off stream. But that was actually kind of a big ego boost for me. So it's possible.
Yeah, who knows?
You got anything else for us, Ducky?
That's it. Unless you want to talk about retail stores, what they're doing to try to stop the scalpers.
You really want me to start screaming, don't you?
Well, I didn't think you were mad about that. I thought it was a good thing.
No, I'm thrilled with what the retail stores are doing. They're finally stopping people from going in there and just buying up all the stock so they can try to look for that stupid one shiny Charizard or whatever, thinking that they're going to be the next freaking millionaire that got rich off Pokemon cards. Guess what? Nobody got rich off Beanie Babies. No one's going to get rich off Pokemon cards, okay? Let's just face reality. But, like, I saw some pictures recently of this douche canoe who went to a store that had a Pokemon vending machine inside and stood outside the door waiting for it to open. And as soon as it opened, he walked inside carrying a box. And then he walked over to that machine and emptied it. Now, the store doesn't give a crap usually because, hey, we're selling our stuff. What do we care? But What about the guy that comes there? I just want to get an Elite Trainer box and go home. Oh, look, they're all gone. You are literally, there's videos out there, if you look on Verbank and stuff like that, of people getting into fist fights at Walmart and bribing, paying the stockman to call them and tell them when stuff comes in. Target started this thing where you signed up and they would call you. You had 10 minutes to get there and claim your 2 items that you were allowed to purchase, or they moved on to the next name on the list. I mean, they've had to do some really beyond ridiculous things to keep these people from going in there and just buying them all up, because I'm home because of the pandemic, and oh look, I got my government money. I'm gonna go buy me some Pokemans and I'm gonna sell them on the eBays.
Why don't I give me some of that government money?
You got some of that government money.
Yeah, I did, but I saved it.
That it's a stimulus. You're supposed to spend it, but I saved mine too.
Ironically, the room remodel cost about the same as the stimulus check. I just did it before I got it.
So. Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's just some sheetrock and some wood.
20 sheets of it.
You did 20 sheets of sheetrock in that room?
The entire wall had to be re-drywalled.
Why?
Because the boards were glued.
Why?
The boards were glued. I couldn't just patch that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Your girl probably kicked your ass.
She doesn't know how much it costs.
She will now.
Oh, well. We're not married. It's still my money.
Oh my Lord. I don't think we have anything else, do we, Duck?
That's it.
That being said, folks, welcome back to the Mount Moon Review Podcast. We do not know for sure when the next episode will be out. It's going to be up to Duck. I was going to put it on his head. It is up to Duck as to when these things happen. Okay, Duck?
Yep.
You look at him. He's like, no, don't say that. It's not my fault. Yeah, it's your fault. It's whenever Duck's available. Because Duck writes the formats, and I can't do these by myself. Duck's...
Well, definitely expect something. If something big comes out, I'll try to get in before Pokemon Day, but definitely expect something around Pokemon Day. And
Absolutely.
then, yeah.
Well, and you can also check out all of our content over on our YouTube channel, The Mount Moon Crew. If you search for us, you'll find us there. You'll find all the past episodes of the Mount Moon Review Podcast in video format. You can listen to the audio form on Anchor, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can catch me over on Twitch when I do my Twitch streams, which I'm actually doing a couple times a week right now at PTCGO. You can just look for twitch.tv/the_Razgrees01. You can look us both up on Facebook. You can look us both up on Twitter. It's the_Razgrees01 or Blue Duck Gold Duck. That's Blue Duck Gold Duck without the E. See, I still got that. You can also catch my other podcast, the Social Liability Podcast with Buck Grundle. That is an adult podcast. Don't listen to that with your children, folks.
Very educational.
It's very educational. You can
learn something in every episode.
Mostly about Florida Man. You can check out Sadar's new show, Just Pizza, over on our YouTube channel because Sadar loves pizza.
Also very educational.
If you were ever wondering what pizza not to buy, it's cauliflower pizza, folks. I'll tell you that. Spoiler alert. But thank you all for listening for the triumphant return of the Mount Moon Review Podcast. And we will see you on the next one. Hope you all have a great week. Oh, wait a minute. Duck's got to say his thing. Say your thing, Duck.
All right, guys. Just remember until next time, if it's too good to be blue, it's probably gold.
There you go.
Just because your card is magic, you think you're safe because you killed my life orb. Baby, do you dare to not flinch? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark pulse. I know you're gonna throw. You're gonna throw a storm. But I got that lucky chance. There's no critical hits.